Let's be real. The war for talent out there it's intense. Companies everywhere are looking for that one thing, that strategic edge that helps them not just find the best people, but actually get them to sign on. Well, today, we're going to break down a really powerful tool that's designed to give you exactly that edge.
So, does this sound painfully familiar? You find the absolute perfect candidate. You go through all the interviews. You put together a fantastic offer. And then, crickets. You find out they went to your biggest competitor. Ugh, it is one of the most frustrating feelings in the world, right? But what if you could see your competitors' moves coming before they even made them?
And that really gets to a fundamental truth that we sometimes forget. Hiring isn't just about filling a slot on an org chart. It's a competition. It is a high-stakes game. When you're trying to land, say, a top-tier software engineer, you are absolutely selling. You're selling your company, your culture, your vision, all against some really, really smart competitors.
Okay, so if hiring is basically selling, where should we be looking for some good ideas? Well, the answer, maybe not so surprisingly, comes right from the sales team down the hall.
You see, for years, sales teams have had this secret weapon called a battle card. Think of it like their ultimate cheat sheet right in the middle of a negotiation. It's usually a simple, one-page doc that's just packed with everything they need to win, what the competitor's pricing is, what their weaknesses are, and exactly how to handle objections. And now, that exact same idea is making its way over to HR. And the parallel here is it's pretty amazing when you see it side by side. A sales team uses a battle card to figure out their market position and get ahead of pricing objections, right? While a talent team uses one to understand their position in the talent market and get ahead of compensation objections. It's the same winning playbook, just for people instead of products.
At the end of the day, what this all represents is a huge shift in mindset. You're moving from being reactive, scrambling when you lose a candidate, to being proactive. You're anticipating what the market is doing, and you're positioning your company to win right from the get-go.
So what kind of information actually goes into one of these things? What makes them so powerful? Let's take a look under the hood and break down the anatomy of a winning battle card.
And to make this real, we're going to look at a classic rivalry, Amazon versus Meta. So just imagine for a second, you're a recruiter at one of these companies. You're trying to hire an amazing engineer. What key pieces of information would give you an actual advantage? First up, let's talk about the big one, money. A battle card would tell you instantly that Meta, on average, pays a staggering 68% more than Amazon. Now, if you're that Amazon recruiter, that doesn't mean you just give up. It means you're prepared. You can have a much smarter conversation about the value of your stock options, total compensation, and long-term growth.
But hey, it's not always about the paycheck. For software developers, check this out. Amazon's hiring process is, on average, almost 3 days faster than Meta's. In a market that moves this quickly, speed is absolutely a weapon. That's a piece of intel you can use, highlighting how decisive and respectful your process is of a candidate's time.
And then you've got the long game. How long do people actually stick around? A battle card shows that employees at Meta tend to stay about 7 months longer on average. Now, for a candidate who's weighing their options, a single number like that speaks volumes about the culture, about career paths, and about overall satisfaction. These are powerful stories you can tell.
Okay, so now let's put it all together. This is what that high-level summary looks like. You can see the trade-offs so clearly. Meta is winning big on compensation and tenure. That's a quality and culture story. Meanwhile, Amazon has a slight edge on hiring speed, and it's just hiring at an unbelievable scale. With just one look, a recruiter is totally armed with a strategic overview and knows exactly which points to emphasize.
But a really great battle card isn't just a data dump. That's not the point. It has to be actionable intelligence. It needs clear visuals so you can get insights in a split second during a call. The data has to be updated constantly because this stuff changes fast. And, this is critical, it's got to be about quality over quantity. The goal is to arm your team, not drown them in numbers.
Okay, so you're sold. You see the power in this. The obvious next question is, how do you actually get this kind of intelligence for your own company? And this is where every organization comes to a pretty major fork in the road. Do you try to build this whole competitive intelligence system in-house, or do you partner with someone who already specializes in it? It sounds like a simple question, but the answer has some huge strategic implications. Building this yourself is so much harder than it sounds. You're not just grabbing a few data points. You're talking about constantly pulling data from dozens of different places. And then you have to normalize it, which is a fancy way of saying you have to clean up all the messy data.
like figuring out that a lead software engineer at one company is the same as a senior staff engineer at another. Then you have to analyze it, visualize it, and do it all over again next week to keep it fresh. It's a massive job.
So once you have this intelligence, whether you build it or buy it, how do you make sure your team actually uses it? Well, success really comes down to 3 key things. First, find your champions. Those recruiters who are already thinking this way. Let them prove how valuable it is. Second, you got to role play. Don't just give them a PDF. Train them on how to use these insights in a real conversation. And third, integrate it. Weave it right into the tools and processes your team already uses every day. And this all brings us to the final and, I think, unavoidable conclusion. In the talent market we're in today, this level of competitive intel, it isn't a nice-to-have anymore. It's a strategic must-have. So really, the question isn't whether you need this intelligence, it's whether you can afford to walk into the battle for talent completely unarmed.
This breakdown was based on a really comprehensive guide to talent battle cards, a resource that comes from the folks at the Talent Intelligence Collective. Thanks so much for tuning in.